Well, it's one for the money.
In the early 1960s, the American popular music business really pretty much had everything in hand in terms of youth music and rock and roll. There'd been that whole crazy flare-up of Elvis and Little Richard and Chuck Berry and Jerry Lee Lewis and guys who were a little bit sort of too hot to handle. The music business had stepped in and kind of taken control of it, and through the early 60s, everything really seemed to be on cruise control for popular music for young people. And then along come this group from Liverpool, from England, a group that from a place that had never had success in the United States. The Beatles, in their wake, all kinds of other British groups. They arrive in early 1964, and so for a year, it seems like the American popular music business doesn't really quite know what to do. There are all these Brits invading their shores. But by the summer of 1965, the American popular music business was starting to respond in an important way, and we usually call that the American response.
Hey, Mr. Tambourine Man, play a song for me.
The key to the American response is probably the song Mr. Tambourine Man by the Byrds. It's a Bob Dylan song that was recorded in the first half of 1965 after Roger McGuinn and the rest of the Byrds had seen George Harrison playing an electric 12-string guitar in A Hard Day's Night, which was released in the summer of 1964. They got a hold of an electric 12-string guitar, put it together with Bob Dylan's song, which had been an outtake that he hadn't used on his most recent record. They did their own sort of jingle-jangle version of it, and that sound, the Byrds' Mr. Tambourine Man, released in early spring and becoming a hit in the summer of 1965, became the sound of the American response.
Once upon a time you dressed so fine, threw the bumps of dime in your prime. Then
The influence of Dylan during this period is really important because people have to remember that Dylan was not really known as a star performer up to the summer of 1965. He was known in the folk music industry, but not so much as a popular artist in his own right, although his songs had been hits for people like Peter, Paul, and Mary and others. And so when the Byrds come along with this Dylan song, it's about the same time that Dylan himself starts to assert himself as an important performer, most famously going to the Newport Folk Festival and really upsetting all of the folk purists by showing up with an electric guitar and playing an electric guitar set. The stories about that are legion. With the success in 1965 of all of these American groups, the Beach Boys, the Byrds, Bob Dylan, the American pop music business could now say that it had an answer to the British invasion of 1964, and that was the American response of 1965.
Serving USA.